Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to begin with Hine Matov on 128. Hine Matov Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Yadada, yadada, yadada. Ine mato, yadada, yadada, yadada. Ine mato, manai. Shabbat achim gam yachad. Ine mato, manai. Shabbat achim gam yachad. We continue with Maya Hayom. How lovely today is. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Turn back to 120 and 121. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. We join together, lighting our candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, instilling in us the holiness of mitzvot by commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. And together we say, Amen. We continue together with the Chadodi 138 and 139, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. L'cha Chadodi, l'kra kala, pene pene Shabbat l'kala, l'cha kala, pene pene Shabbat l'kala. Shemor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Hishmiyanu v'hamid echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem al tifaret v'liti la 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 Chadodi, l'kra kala, pene Shabbat l'kala, l'cha l'kra kala. Bene bene Shabbat nekala, B'grat Shabbat lechu b'necha, Ki mekor merosh Nesucha. Sochma aseva ma shabati la 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 l'chadodi. Likrat kala. Bene Shabbat nikabela. L'chadodi likrat kala. Bene Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, Kivore, Kumi Uri, Shirari, Kivora Nala, Kadodi, the Kala, Bene, Shala, Nigadama, the Kadodi, the Kala. Bene Shabbat Nikabela. Rise in body or spirit as we welcome the Sabbath Pride, verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'betzola, toch be'am segula, boi chala, L'chadodi, kala, bene Shabbat nikabela. L'chadodi, kala, bene Shabbat nikabela. You may be seated. We continue with Psalm 92. Mizmor, share our psalm for Shabbat on 140. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer le'shimcha el-yom, ulezamer le'shimcha el-yom, v'hagid babo kerastecha, v'ekabalelo. Ale Yasur Ve'ale Enada Ale Higayon Ve'ino Mizmor Shir Liyom haShabbat Tov Lehodot la'Adonai Ulezamer le'shimcha el-yom, ulezamer le'shimcha el-yom. Yisamachtani Adonai b'fa'olecha, b'ma'aseh yadcha Magadlu ma'asecha Adonai me'od ha'amku machshavotecha. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer le'shimcha el-yom, ulezamer le'shimcha el-yom. About the heavens. Majestic sovereign, artist of creation, why did you put the stars beyond our grasp? Was it your desire to keep us searching the heavens for luminous spirals, shimmering clouds, rings of glorious light? Was it your plan to summon us, to reach across the vastness, to reach across the darkness and the distance with yearning and hope? Or perhaps, once you created the canvas of sky, once you took out your watercolors, your oils, your charcoals, your pencils, your palette, you couldn't resist the urge to paint. We continue with the words of Shalom Aleichem on 142. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom, Aleichem Continue on the following page, Chatzi Kaddish. 140. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Rabba V'yalmati Rachutin V'yalmati Bechon Uchayedecho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Ubizman Karim B'meru Amen Yehesh Me'rama Mevorach Le'olam Omer Maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh Shemin B'Rishah B'Rechu Leila Minko V'Irchata V'Shirata V'Shvechata Damiran Be'oma B'meru Amen. Turn the page and rise to the Baruch. Begin with the words of Noah Aronson, Am I awake? Covenant of intention. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yedadai 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 Continue together on the top of 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide, time and light, you guide the current of day and night. As heaven spans to infinity, use in its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ari, Arabi. Middle of 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We join together on 152 with Shema, watchword of our faith. Shema Yisrael. You may be seated. בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר נפלי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם בנפשך ודיברת בהם בשבתך ביתך ובמלאכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לעוז על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם בכל משפטיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים יולכם אלוהים אני אדוני Top of 157. We continue together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught forever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, promised land. The winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Continue together with the words of Michamoka on 158. Yai dai 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 da 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 yai dai 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 da 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 yai dai 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 da 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 yai dai 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 da 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 Michamoka ba'elim Adonai Michamoka neder b'kodesh Nora tehilot osef eleh Nora tehilot osef eleh Malchutecha ra'u b'necha Lokei hayom b'nei Moshe Ze'eli ya'anivei amr Ze'eli ya'anivei amr Adonai yimoch le'olam Adonai yimoch le'olam Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Continue on the screens with the words to Hashkivenu, a prayer for safety in the night. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim, Bros aleinu suchat shlomecha, Bros aleinu suchat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath, O Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. O Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us God wrong from right. Amen. 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 May the earth reflect the heavens, a prayer for change, by Rabbi David Winship. As the heavens fill, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, with those taken too soon, a heavenly court grows. In it sit those taken, those who know, those who have paid the true price of recklessness, masquerading as freedom. They bear witness to our ongoing news cycle, our doom scrolling and spiraling, our numbness, our tears, us and they. They pronounce judgment quickly, justly, mercifully, for they are the truth, and see to it that change is ordered. As it is in the heavens, may it be so on earth. May our courts, our places of power, our streets fill with those who know the price and whom will make change. Together we say, Amen. Continue together with the words of Vishamru on the top of 162. Vishamru ben Israel and Shabbat, Lasso de Tashav, Lidor Tamberito, Vishamru ben Israel and Tashav, Lasso de Tashav, Lidor Tamberito, Bnei Israel, Bnei Israel, Oti Leola, Vishamru, Bnei Israel, and Tashavat, Amatsu Tashavat, Lidor Tamberizol, Isheshatami, Adonai. Et Hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael Tashavat la'asut et Hashavat le'torah taberito u'vayom hashvi Shabbat v'yinavash Shabbat v'yinavash Shabbat v'yinavash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Tashavat Shabbat, letter founder readable. As we prepare for the Amidah, we'll chant pages 164 through 170. A note that we are now in winter. Yes. According to somewhat according to the weather outside this week, but according to our liturgical calendar, we have the winter insert in Give Road. What did somebody post on Facebook? They were like, last week it was fall, this week it was winter, this weekend is summer. Welcome to Michigan, something like that. We rise in body or spirit and begin on 164. Feel the lives that my love may declare your perfect. I am Hagadol, Hagiborn, Hello, Gomez, Sasadim, Jovin, Vekone, Hago, Vizocher, Hasea, Vimamo, Baby, Gudali, Baby, Manchimo, Biako, Melem, Hotel, Marshia, Magis, Baruch, Hator, Magino, Bezro, Tani for them, Lavanai, Nekaye Hakolata, Rala, Shia, Mashiva Ruva, Umari Hagasha, the Hotel Shine, Bethesda, the Hayen of the Holy, Rafi, so that no leave their open holy. Rasubi. Mekaye, that's what we shall be on. Never made me to Mekaye, who wants me at Yeshua, but never not Alechayot. Baruch atah Adonai, atah kadosh v'shikra kadosh, v'kadoshim kol yom yalu chaseva. Baruch atah Adonai. You may be seated. Continue together in the English on 172. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done. Ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God, the God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest, sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us to share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat. And Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Shabbat. The middle of 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odacha levadcha v'yirah na'avod. Middle of 177, we continue together. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, pato shimcha ucha na'eh lehotot. Join together in Shalom Rab, our prayer for peace on 178. Shalom Rab. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, havarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. Take a moment for silent prayer. The words in 180 and 181 are the words of your hearts. Oh, say shalom, shalom. Ve'al Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. We're going to turn together to page 371. So our thoughts turn to those in our family, in our community, in our heart, who are in need of healing, body, of mind, or spirit. If there's someone you're thinking of and you'd like to share their name aloud in the chat, please feel free to do so.
Aunt Lillian and Irene Barstare.
Dennis Linderman, Iris Kamer, Al Berman, Maurice Berman, Allison Solomon, Maurice Selvisnick, Glenn Shabbat, Steve Edwards, Linwood Jennings, the Aislinn family. Hold all those named and unnamed in our hearts and in our prayers as we join together in the middle of the page. Be may the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us be the renewal of spirit, and let us say, while scrolling through my Facebook newsfeed earlier this week, I stumbled across a friend, Rabbi Adam Zagoria Moffat's status. He wrote the following: our annual reminder that the Bible does not describe creation ex nihilo, from nothing. Creation is a process of reordering pre-existent chaos and darkness, separation and distinction, and then entrusting the continuation of that task to an androgynous mortal being of dust and blood, who is animated by the same spirit that once fluttered over the abyssal depths and who is now tasked with perpetuating the ongoing process of creation, in preserving order in the cosmos and working against the inherent entropy of a material world. As we begin reading Torah again, and especially since we read on a triennial cycle, and this year we'll be focusing on the first third of each parsha, each Torah portion, I thought looking a little deeper into what our commentators have said about the first words of Bereshit, of Genesis, would be an interesting exercise. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz has been translated in a multitude of ways. But if we look only at some common English translations, we see some significant differences from what many of us believe is the traditional or correct English translation. The default, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. From JPS in 1917, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. New JPS in 99 said, when God began to create the heaven and the earth. Rabbi Chaim Stern in 99 in the Torah and Modern Commentary, when God was about to create heaven and earth. Rabbi Menachem Davis in 2006, in the beginning of God's creating the heavens and the earth. Rabbi Sidi Brigto in 2000, when, comma, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Robert Alter in 2018, when God began to create heaven and earth. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs in 2020, when God began creating heaven and earth. Everett Fox in 95, at the beginning of God's creating of the heavens and the earth. And finally, Richard Friedman in 2005, in the beginning of God's creating the skies and the earth. Each of these translations helps illustrate my favorite point that I repeat too often, that translation is interpretation. The fact that Torah begins with a bet, a prefix, often translated as in or on, gives a different flavor to the sentence. In his translation and commentary published by Art Scroll, Rabbi Menachem Davis explains that our commentators did not all agree on how to best understand or interpret this passage of Torah. Ramban does argue that creation, as described in Genesis 1, is creation, ex nihilo, while Rashi and Ibn Ezra disagree. Rabbi Davis then continues, homiletically, the word bereshit can be rendered as bishvil reshit. The world was created for the sake of things that are called beginning, meaning that God brought the world into being for the sake of things that are of such basic importance that the Torah calls them reshit, first or beginning. The world was created for the sake of things that are called beginning. What would we call beginning? The story of humanity, the story of how a tiny people spread across the planet, or something bigger, something greater. Hebrew is both simple to learn and complicated to understand, especially when recognizing that, like all languages, Hebrew has evolved and changed over time. It is not an exaggeration to share that while in rabbinical school, I was learning at least 3 types of Hebrew at the same time: modern, biblical, and Talmudic. One could also throw in medieval at a certain point too. Each is based on its earlier version, but also borrows from other languages of the time. And metaphors, well, they change all the time too. Creation was both a one-time event, the Big Bang, if you will, as well as always occurring. We, humanity, also create, though in Hebrew, we only make or do, but never create, with the verb beit resh aleph. Only God can create as God does at the beginning of Torah. But we are different from the animal kingdom. We write, draw, speak, imagine, build. We can do all of these things because we have been gifted the ability to think. Whether we believe God began to create, was creating, or created, we know that we are here today, that our lives have purpose, that we are blessed by a creator with souls. As Alden Soloby writes, before the beginning, from eternity, from the place beyond the highest heavens, where stillness is motion and motion is stillness, where nothing and everything meet, where time and timelessness are one, God imagined a universe in which existence could only begin by first creating light. Vayehi erev, vayehi boker, yom echad. And there was evening, and there was morning, a first day. May our reading of Torah this year and every year be one that sparks new ideas, new inspiration, new understanding. May you each find yourselves in the texts of our people. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
We're going to continue together on page 586. As we rise in body or spirit. Early. Bottom of 586, top of 588. Alleluia, Shabbat, separation. Shalom, so then Shalom, son, you can they go they are not new. They are nothing. I no tashama in the oceans, who must have come, but shama in me, my own, who's been out so, who's been out so, they go take their own. Yeah, don't they are shable, no. Gather at the top of 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love to each of us with a peace to bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, for all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe, the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. You may be seated. 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. This week is Parshat Bereshit, the very beginning of Genesis, and is recognized as Regina Jonas's, the first woman to be ordained a rabbi, her yard site. All we know of her death is that she left Raisin and arrived in Auschwitz the week of Parshat Bereshit. And so it's expected that she was marched straight to gas chambers. So we add her to our list. Community, especially remembering the yard sites of Francis Arculis, Margaret L. Davis, Fritz Fabish, Jacob Fire, Jack Borstein, Martin Gordon, Howard Greenberg, Lori Jondal, Clifford M. Caslow, Jacob Leader, Jack Levy, Martha Lozer, Joseph Oberman, Wesley Odom, Helen Simon Persky, Doris Pryor, Ray Rodbard, Carol Rosenbaum, Cheryl Zeiss Schulman, Sol Schulman, Bessie Walensky Tanoff, Esther Weintraub, Anna Weinman, Dorothy Wolf, Irving Wolf, and Israel Zeri. Additions or corrections? We turn together to page 598 to rise in body or spirit, the mourner's cottage. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bioma dibrach dirute bi'amich malchute, v'chayechom bi'omechom, v'chayed kol beit Yisrael, Bagala Uzman Hari Favor Amen. Yehe Shne Rabba Nevarach Leolam Ume Amayam. Yitbarach Vishtabach Vijbaar Vijmama Vijnase Vitadar Vitale Vitala Shne Shah Brehu. Laela Minko Mirchata Shirata Tushbachata Benechamata. Damirat Bealma Beaver Amen. Yehe Shlama Rava Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Beaver Amen. Aseh Shalom B'Roma. Huya Aseh Shalom. Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Beaver Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. A few announcements. There are no services nor Torah study tomorrow. There is religious school on Sunday at COM from 9 to 12. And then next week, services Friday night, our musical Shabbat. We hope to see lots of you here. 7 o'clock in person and on YouTube. And then next Saturday, resuming of services in person and on Zoom, followed by Rosh Chodesh discussion led by Tara. And keep an eye out. Hold on. Is there something else? No. Keep an eye out for the November newsletter and all the activities starting back up. There are 2 dinner and discussions in November, as well as 2 Havdalah gatherings in November. We've got a joint service with Congregation of Moses on the 18th. So lots of things happening as we move into then. I did want to draw attention that this Sunday at Bronson Park from 12:30 to 3:30 is Earth Day Election Edition, a nonpartisan celebration. There's going to be food trucks and demonstrations and activities and entertainment and speakers and voter registration. And Joan and Steve are being acknowledged for their work to the community during the presentations. So I thought that was particularly nice. If you haven't, hold on, my show and tell. If you haven't picked up one of our much nicer printed calendars, they're out on the front table, along with, if you're interested in one of the cookbooks that were put together, they're also out in the back. So we hope you'll join us for one of the many things going on. I've also got a few classes coming up. The announcements have been in the weekly email if you're interested in any of those.
Excuse me, Rabbi Schicker.
Yes.
Next Wednesday is the Member Connections Committee meeting.
Wednesday's Member Connections Committee meeting. Thank you.
You're all gone.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's.
We're going to conclude together with the Don Olam on 625. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Yitzir Nivra Li'eg Masa V'Hevzoko Azai Melech Shemo Nivra Ve'acharei Higlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yiyeh B'tifara Ve'hu Echad V'yein Sheni Laham Shilo Lechachvira V'li Reishi V'li Tachli Elohim Zaham Yisra Ve'hu V'li V'chai Goali B'tzur Chavli V'yin Sarah Ve'hu Nisim Yosli V'nai Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'yamado Aki Bruhi V'yetin Shah Ve'ayira V'ruchi V'gaviyati Adonai li Ve'lo Ira. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Glad you joined us this evening.